to answer your questions about Medicare plans and help you explore your options today. Click their icon on the obituaries page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You are listening to WTIM, your information station, and it's time now for the WTIM Morning Show. This time on the phone line, we are joined and happy to have back Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. Treasurer Frericks, thanks so much for joining us back, and right near Christmas time, plenty of great things to talk about, all about the Treasurer's office, of course.
Tim, good morning and Merry Christmas. It's a great time to be thinking about the Treasurer's office with Christmas so rapidly approaching.
That is it, and that's exactly why we wanted to have you in today. When we're talking Christmas, we're talking these great money returning programs. What comes to mind first for you?
Well, first of all, we know a lot of families are struggling. People want to be generous. They want to give this holiday season, but maybe they don't have the resources to do it. If that's the case, we encourage people to go to our website, icash.illinoistreasurer.gov, and see if we have money that belongs to you. We'd love to put more money into your pockets if we can't get the check to you in time. Hopefully it'll help pay off some credit card bills in January.
Yeah, that iCash, you can always be surprised there. And there's just a large portion of people that can find funds there. How is it that those funds get there within the iCash program?
They come in any number of ways. It could be a last paycheck you never collected. It could be a savings account that you forgot about at a bank. Maybe you were owed a rebate or a refund that didn't make it to your house. Or maybe someone named you as a beneficiary of a life insurance policy. You were unaware of it. For those and many other reasons, money comes into us all the time. We have over $5 billion. We find about 1 in every 4 people who visit our website finds they have something that belongs to them. So we have no guarantees these holidays, but we will guarantee that if you don't check our website, we won't be sending you a check anytime soon.
That's it. And I'm sure a lot of people say to themselves, well, I probably got no money waiting for me there. But does this account for jobs that I might have had 5-10 years ago before I was even 18 years old? Will it take into account those years?
Exactly. If it were in the state of Illinois.
Okay. If
you only moved into Illinois within the last couple of years, chances are we don't have something for you. If you've been a lifelong resident, we might have something for you. You know, I have people all the time tell me, oh, I keep track of my money, Treasurer. You wouldn't have any of my money. That may be true. You may keep track of everything that has come to you, but maybe there was something that was mailed to the wrong address.
Yeah.
Maybe something was mailed out as junk mail. Maybe there was something you was owed to you, but you didn't know to claim it. In those cases, we may also have money waiting for you.
Perfect. All such realistic possibilities that you laid out right there. So before we move on from that, though, the website, one more time for iCash.
You can go to you can get any of this information at IllinoisTreasurer.gov, or you can go directly there at iCash, ICASH.IllinoisTreasurer.gov.
Beautiful. Talking Illinois Treasury programs around this Christmas holiday here with Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. What else comes to mind based on these programs that we're talking about that really help out struggling families?
You know, I like to remind people that if you find some money and you don't need all of that for gifts, if you don't have bills to pay, consider making an investment. Consider making an investment in a young person.
Wow.
We have 2 529 college savings programs. We think they're a great way to help put a young person on a pathway to success. Research has shown that if a young person knows they have a college savings account in their name, they are 3 times more likely to go to college, 7 times more likely if they're the first generation. But if they don't want to go to college, it can be used for a community college, a vocational program, a technical school. It can be used for an apprenticeship.
Oh, wow.
And I can tell you, I've got a couple of little boys who love playing with toys, but they have more than enough of them.
Sure.
When people ask what kind of toys they'd like, I tell them, look, we have toys all over the floor. Invest in their future. Invest in their college education.
Wow, that is really cool. So this is even something, as you were kind of explaining right there, of course, I'm thinking of parents of their children. Maybe they got too many toys there, but even, grandparents thinking about something to buy, or even friends. That's a good gift option you'd give people?
It is.
Yeah.
This time of year, little kids may not appreciate that today, but when they eventually go to college or community college, a trade school vocational program, and they graduate with less debt, they will appreciate that.
That's amazing. And I remember unboxing those savings bonds or whatever from grandma growing up. Of course, I didn't appreciate them, but now at this stage in your life, you absolutely do. So that's another really great one right there, investing in those 529 college savings there. You said it's never too early to start there. And new parents, they can find the information they need on your website?
Same thing. They go to brightstart.com or IllinoisTreasurer.gov. They'll find information. you can give to your child, a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, someone who you have mentored.
Wow.
But just when you do that, make sure they know why you gave it to them. Make sure you let them know that you believe in them, you know that they're smart, and you know that they have a lot of potential. And if they hear words like that, they're much more likely to reach their potential.
Sure. I love the numbers there on, success and having some college savings for you. That makes just so much sense. And we're speaking with Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. Any more programs? We talked iCash, we talked college savings. What else you got for us?
There's another good one. It's called ABLE. It stands for Achieving a Better Life Experience. It works just like a college savings plan, but it's meant for people with disability.
Cool.
If you have someone special in your life who has a disability, this is a great way to help them save for a brighter future. Just like college savings, you put money in, you can invest it. That growth is tax-free as long as it's used for a disability-related expense.
Okay.
And for those who are parents of people with disabilities who are receiving federal benefits, they know that those benefits are means tested. And what that means is they can't have more than $2,000 to their names or they lose their benefit.
Yeah.
If you save through an ABLE savings account, you can save up to $100,000 in an ABLE account and still maintain your federal benefit.
Wow.
This is going to make a big difference in the lives of a lot of people with disabilities. And at this holiday season, I can't think of a better thing to do with your money than help give someone a better life experience.
Every time we talk about that ABLE program, brings a smile to my face. When you're talking, changes for people with disabilities, there are funds related to that. I mean, that could be anything. ADA approving your home there, or just equipment needed for your health, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Any number of things that the expenses are related to disability. There's great flexibility with these accounts. I've just talked to so many families.
Yeah.
Who said in the past they couldn't help their kids save, and they worried about what would happen when they passed away and their child had no savings. What kind of future were they giving them? And I've now talked to parents who said, hey, I still have a lot of anxiety about what happens to my son or daughter after I'm gone. But you'd help reduce some of that anxiety because they know I'm able to leave them a slightly larger nest egg.
Yeah, just heartbreaking. Without the ABLE program there, just another way the Illinois State Treasurer's Office looking out for the people out there. And Treasurer Frericks, more on the Christmas spirit here. The money returned to the Salvation Army. I was reading this just recently. Can you break this one down for us?
Yeah, we're just talking about how you can go and check for yourself to see if we have money for you or maybe for your family. But we not only have money for individuals, we have it for businesses, for churches, and for charities.
Wow.
And just last week, I went out to the Salvation Army of the Midwest, presented them a check for $21,700.
Wow.
We know that's an organization that's committed to helping out the needy and filling the needs in our communities. Was very happy to return that to them. We know they're going to put it to good use, make Christmas brighter for a lot of people, and give a helping hand for those who have fallen on hard times.
Without a doubt. Can't think of a much better nonprofit right there to return that much money to. $21,700 probably means so much to the Salvation Army. And you just mentioned a big one right there, the iCash missing funds. That relates back to businesses, organizations as well. That's really cool. Same type of process there. First part of that question. And the second part, where do these funds, these missing funds come from for businesses?
Yeah, it can be something very similar. So a business maybe was owed money from another business, a business-to-business exchange, that was sent to the wrong address, or maybe the account was off. Maybe you had someone who was keeping the books, and when they transferred to their successor, they didn't transfer all of them and all the information, all the accounts. And so money goes missing for them as well. The process is very similar. So when you go to icash.illinoistreasurer.gov, check for yourself. If you own a business, check for that business and check for different names. Sometimes businesses will move or they'll operate under a different name. And that might be a reason why money didn't get to them.
Wow. Okay.
So check for them. We'd love to return more. And if you have a favorite charity in your life, check for them as well. When I gave it to the Salvation Army, they described themselves as America's most popular charity.
Wow.
Now, I think very highly of them, but I asked, I said, how can you make that claim? He said, well, Gallup did a poll, and this was several decades ago, and they thought, well, surely that can't be right, because it was just so popular.
Yeah.
And so they did a second poll and confirmed that, according to Gallup, the Salvation Army was America's favorite charity. But we know there are lots of others out there who could benefit from some of your listeners' generosity. So after you've taken care of your family, after you've taken care of your bills, consider being generous this Christmas time and help out those who are more in need.
Without a doubt, and plenty of local nonprofits, I think, to myself right now, and just so many ways for people to give out there. Great words from Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frerichs, very knowledgeable person on all these subjects are here. So we thank him for bringing us back up to date there. Got to take ourselves a break on this WTIM morning show. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We'll be right back on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Find out all the great things happening in the Pana area on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, Tuesdays from 8:40 till 10. You'll hear interviews with Pana area community, nonprofit, and business leaders each week. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by these sponsors.
Our title sponsor, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Your Pana Save-A-Lot, Whiskey Bill's Saloon and Liquor Emporium, and Locked and Loaded Limited.
Radio gets results.
Miller Media Group Advertising works for Taylorville Estates. Here's Administrator Tony Clark.
In the past year, we have doubled our census. So that's been impacted mainly by the radio advertising. That is where we do the majority of our advertising. And our census definitely shows that it works. They lead us in the right direction for the season changing, and they anticipate our upcoming needs before we even have to tell them what they are. We've had consistent growth over the past 12 months. Like I said, we've doubled in our census, and that's been the first time in 43 months since prior to COVID that we've gotten to where now we have a waiting list for people to come. So advertising on the radio really does have an impact.
Brian Barnhart here, the voice of the Fighting Illini. Fighting Illini Nation to listen for Fighting Illini sports this season on New Country 104.1. From every kickoff during football season to the closing horn of every basketball game, you'll hear them in Christian County and surrounding area on your home for Fighting Illini sports, New Country 104.1. Follow the orange and blue and go Illini.
Brought to you by Prairie Farms Dairy, Bob Ridings Pana, Aaron's Rent to Own, and Adam Jeffrey with Craig's Realtors, both in Taylorville.
Dr. Emily Smith with Taylorville Community Eye Care across from the high school. I'm here to remind you, if you have a flexible spending account or vision insurance, time might be running out to use your benefits. Some plans make you spend funds by December 31st. So give your family's eyes the love they need. Schedule their routine eye exams with one of our eye care professionals today by calling 287-2020. Taylorville Community Eye Care, enhancing vision, enriching lives.
Craig's Realtors continues to be the market leader in Christian County, closing more sales in the first half of 2024 than anyone else. Owner Steve Craig's here, inviting you to let us work for you by clicking on my icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online, and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station, in the middle of our conversation with Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frerichs, learning all about iCash, ABLE, 529 college savings programs, all great things to talk about as we near Christmas. And before we go, thanks so much to live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In this back half here, let's talk about a local story. We're going to kind of switch gears, but another Purple Heart return, Treasurer Frerichs. These are always great stories.
They are. We did this around Veterans Day to a family in Decatur. So just down the road. The soldier earned a Purple Heart in the Pacific Theater. The Battle of Saipan, was injured in the shoulder, was ordered back to the rear to retreat. He refused to because he wanted to keep helping his buddies on the front line. It was only after he suffered a second injury he finally was taken off of the battlefield.
Wow.
He came back home, started a family, and didn't talk much about that experience. Didn't talk much about his Purple Heart. It got left behind in a bank safe deposit box. The family didn't know about it, but we were able to return it just outside the Decatur Civic Center in front of Decatur's World War II Memorial.
Just amazing. And these stories, I'm sure they're hard to kind of hard to get. Do you get these from the families you return these to?
Yeah, frequently we did return one Purple Heart to a soldier who had served in Vietnam. But Purple Hearts are earned if someone has been injured or killed in battle.
Right.
And so those individuals are obviously no longer with us. If they were injured, sometimes they came back and there was a lot of trauma associated with it. Or maybe they're part of the greatest generation that didn't brag about such things. They didn't talk about the Purple Hearts, but they meant something to them, so they saved them in a bank safe deposit box from theft or from fire. But too often we've found out they didn't tell their family members about them. So they didn't know to claim them when they passed. And it's our job to return that symbol of valor and honor back to rightful owner. We want to get them out of our cold vault and into the warm embrace of family.
That's just
and
amazing.
and I think if you're someone out there who says, hey, I don't have a lot of money to buy gifts, I don't have a lot of money to give to charity, anyone can volunteer to help out our nation's heroes. You can go to our website and look up Operation Purple Heart. See if you have any information on any of the Purple Hearts still in our possession, because I think if you help us to return more of those, that would be a great service and a great thing you could do going into the holidays.
Just another amazing community-minded initiative from the Illinois State Treasurer's Office there. Treasurer Frericks, when we're talking about all these really great things, are you out there just listening to constituents? I mean, it's a weird question to ask such a, a public, this service body with the Treasurer's Office, but everything that comes out of your guys' office seems to be such a positive. How much of that comes from constituents and how much of that comes from just your guys' expertise?
That is a great question. We want to help people out there. I like to tell people I have the best, least understood job in state government. We've got great opportunities to help people. We help to raise money. We help people to make money. We have to return money and give people the tools they need to invest in themselves. And a lot of those ideas and changes we have made are a result of going out and listening to constituents.
Yeah.
It's one thing to sit in your government office and brainstorm. It's another one to go out and get wisdom from people in the streets. What we find is there are a lot of people hurting and suffering. If you listen long enough, we don't have a solution for every problem.
Yeah.
But if we listen enough, we might find solutions to several of those problems. And that's what makes this job worth doing. My grandmother was so very excited when I was younger, and I would participate in church services for Youth Sunday or a Youth Christmas service. And she thought she would have her first pastor in our family. I didn't go down that route. Ultimately decided public service, but I told my grandma, you raised me right. My mom raised me right. It's our job to give back, to help those less fortunate. And you can do that through the ministry. You can also do that in public service if you approach it as public service.
Yeah. And it just makes sense that a lot of listening happens over at the Treasurer's Office. It just seems like that with these great programs that come out. Treasurer, we got about 2 minutes left. You got some young kids over in your home that are ready to enjoy Christmas, but a Christmas that they can really enjoy this year, because they were infants last year, as we were talking about that. But what does this mean for you? The first real Christmas here.
This is going to be fun. Last year they were too small to unwrap gifts. They could look at lights, but now they are a year and a half old. They love every night going up to the tree. We say goodbye to the tree. They looked at various ornaments. They looked at the lights. They've had an awful lot of fun, and we're excited. They're not going to wake up in the morning and get mom and dad out of bed at 5 a.m. because they're ready to open up gifts. They don't understand that yet. They're still in cribs, but we look forward to seeing the joy in their faces when they rip open the toilet paper, open the boxes, and then quickly discard the toys and start playing with the boxes and the wrapping paper.
That's always the best. And maybe some 529 college savings documents in there as well.
We definitely have made contributions. I don't think they will understand those, but believe me, when they get older and they see how those accounts have grown and how they have enough money to guarantee whatever kind of education they need after high school, I think they will appreciate that then.
Without a doubt.
And now is a good time to do it because you can contribute any time in a kid's life. Perfect. But the earlier you do it, the longer you have to invest and to grow those savings over the next several years.
That is just great words there from Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. And Treasurer, we are totally out of time, but I thank you for joining us on the morning show today.
Tim, thank you very much. Have a great day and a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas back to you. That's Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks right here on our WTIM Morning Show. We thank you all for tuning in.
Your information station, WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden has commuted the sentences of 37 of the 40 federal death row inmates. Their sentences are being changed to life in prison. This just weeks before President-elect Trump takes office. It was somewhat Reagan-esque in its upbeat tone. Mr. Trump telling a packed house in Phoenix over the weekend that America's best days are just ahead. Among other things, the president-elect suggested he may try to regain control of the U.S.-built Panama Canal. He's also vowing to deal with the crisis on the southern border, day one of his second term in office. A 33-year-old illegal alien from Guatemala is in custody after allegedly setting a fellow New York subway passenger on fire and then calmly watching as the victim died. Wall Street, the Dow down 211 points, and NASDAQ is off 5 points. More details, srnnews.com.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away